Hello, welcome back. Now we're on chapter 3, Maisie's Stuck. Maisie was stuck to the bee's wings, and if she could somehow get herself free, at this height she couldn't fly off as her own wings hadn't come through yet. Well, this will teach me. I'm well and truly stuck to this bee, which seems not to be able to see or hear me. I cannot believe I'm going to say this, but I wish I'd listened to Terry or my mother and kept out of trouble. What can I do to get this bee's attention before we reach the vale? Maisie thought. She could see it on the near horizon as it was getting closer and closer, which sent a slight shiver down through her. Ever since she was little, the main instruction given to all Yabbahonies was never to attempt to leave the vale. Even though the elders had made it impossible, deep down she never quite understood why. After all, what could really happen if she was able to go through? Disappear? Be locked out? Or death? No, to Maisie that seemed a little extreme. What she thought was that if the story was told to stop the Yabbahonies leaving the vale and missing the next cycle change when the village would move on. Now that would be serious, as no one could be entirely sure where the village would reappear next, as it was never in exactly the same place twice. So all she could do now was wait and hope Terry would get help in time. The bee was becoming more excited the closer it got to the hive, which was not far now, only just over the field and through the glazed barrier that always appeared when the Yabbahoni village arrived. They would all be amazed and proud of him. He had found help in this little Yabbahoni. She could use her magic stick to solve everything, and it would be forgiven for his misadventures and constant laziness. Yoo-hoo, Mr. B! Can you hear me? Mr. B! Can you hear me? Shouted Maisie. There it was again, that irritating voice of his captive, or as he liked to think of her, as a willing helper. So with a slight wobble of his head, the bee tried to ignore her voice. After all, he was nearly at the hive, just a little further to go. But there it was again, that irritating, squeaky voice. So he pretended to look from side to side, which was not easy while flying. Oh, thank goodness, I thought you'd never notice me, and we're getting so close to the vale, said Maisie. Just keep still. You're coming with me to the hive. We need your help. Hoping that would be the end of the conversation, he looked forward again. Maisie was stunned. My help? What could I possibly help with? She thought. Mr. B, I think you have mistaken me for someone else. The bee didn't believe her and told her so. You're a Yabbahoni. Yes, but I still think you have the wrong person. You have a magic stick, so you can do magic. Therefore you can help us and your village. Help you and our village? I'm not sure what it is you think I can do. I'm only... But before she could finish the sentence, the bee interrupted. I'm late enough as it is. You'll just have to come with me. He was going to take her to the Queen no matter what. So all he said was, sorry, you'll just have to hang on until I get to the hive. I'm late and the Queen will explain everything, finally ending the conversation. With that, Maisie went into panic mode. She started to kick her legs and flail her arms, wishing she had done it sooner. But it didn't make much difference, as she was stuck, and he didn't seem to care anyway. So when she was finally exhausted from her actions, she just gave in, closed her eyes tight, and hoped nothing would happen to her as she waited to pass through the veil. After what seemed a long time, Maisie opened her eyes and realized she had passed through. Well, that wasn't so bad. Nothing but a pop in my ears. Maisie said out loud. All she could do now was hope that Terry had got help and they were coming to rescue her. That's the end of chapter 3. I have to see what happens next in chapter 4. Thank you.